So thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the 4-H Space Tech project. So for those who don't know what Space Tech is in regards to 4-H, this involves probably three main components. So first you have rockets, which is probably the most well-known, well-seen part of the 4-H Space Tech project. So your model rockets that you showed up off in the air, and hope that the parachute goes off and you find it and retrieve it. And then is the GPS GIS, which is my favorite component of the Space Tech project. So this does a lot with mapping. You can also do geocaching. So if you like scavenger hunts, hunting for hidden treasures, and you have a smartphone, you can download geocaching.com. It's an app and there's all sorts of caches that are hidden. Some right in your own neighborhood and you don't know about them. So you go find the cache, and then there's normally a log in there, and then you just put the date, your geocaching name that you found it, put it back, and then you log in on the geocaching website and say, we found this. There is also another one is astronomy, so the stars. So things to do with, like, if you want to build a telescope, that would be part of that aspect of the Space Tech. The 2020 National 4-H Science Day activity is related to Mars in the Mars rover. So if you have done that, or if you're interested in that, that would be the component that National 4-H is doing, which is kind of what inspired us to do the Space Tech project for this. Component of the space techs we're doing is around rockets. There's many different types of rockets that I've done with 4-Hers in the past. So you have your bottle rockets, and not the fireworks type. So this would be like a 2-liter bottle that you would make paper fins out of in a nose, and sometimes you can buy a pump that is designed for bottle rockets. I know when I did this with the extension office, they had one that they had designed that the kids could pump, a bike pump, and then watch their bottle rocket go. You also have foam canister rockets, which foam canisters are hard to find nowadays. But if you do happen to find one or a similar type of container, putting in some baking soda and then adding some vinegar in it, putting the cover on, put the cover on the downside on the surface and step back and watch the interaction and the container go up. And then you also have straw rockets. So you need 2 straws, one a little bit bigger than the other one so that they slide over top. Put a nose cone on it and that. And the one we're doing today is kind of similar to the straw rockets. So the supplies you need are a piece of paper and the instructions that I'm going off of can be found online at prekinders.com, and it's just our paper rockets. This is where I got the information for this. So things you need is a piece of paper. They recommended 9 by 12. My school has just started, so an 8.5 by 11 works fine. Ruled paper is really good. We'll talk about that a little later. A pair of scissors, your safety scissors. Some sort of writing utensil to help measure out a line. A ruler. I use a quilting ruler that I have handy from all my sewing. Some tape, some sort of tape. Glue could work, but tape is ideal. And then some sort of straw. In our house, we use reusable straw, so I have this nice handy dandy plastic straw. So to start with your piece of paper, you're going to measure off sections in about 2.5 inches. So this is 2.5 inches. So you'll want to measure out another 2.5 inches, and you will be able to get 2.5 to 2.25. At least if you measure 2.25, you'll be able to get at least 3 rockets out of this. Yeah, I think I measured 2.25%. So 3 rocks out of this, and then you'll have a little bit extra where the holes are. So if you measure out, you have 3 sections, 4 sections actually. So you have 3 different sections, and then the section with the holes. This is just extra. So once you get that all measured out, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut them out. And then that should leave you with 3 sections all about the similar size. So 3 sections like this. And in order to make your rocket, you're going to fold your paper, one of those sections, in half, like a hot dog. So kind of like the hot dog bun in that. We'll do that with all 3. If you want to make more than 1 rocket, if you want to just make one, just do it with 1. Get that. And the next thing you do is need to tape this edge together. And I decided the best solution is not one long piece of tape. I don't think I would make a mess with myself. So what I did is I just took a whole bunch of pieces of like 2 inches at a length, and then just put it on here and bent it over. And did that all the way down. Yeah, starting all the way at the top and all the way down. So you want to tape all the way to the top. And then this section here where there's this big wide area where there's no lines, you want to leave that untaped. So don't tape this section. Okay. So when I get done, I should have 1 here, and then this section here is left untaped. Okay. So once you get that all done, you'll have this section, it's all taped. Take your scissors and you're going to just cut this flap like this. Cut that, and then take it and rip so you have the end. So this is kind of like the flames at the bottom. You could probably rip them all, but I thought cutting the one side might be a little bit easier. That. So there's on the bottom. And the other end, you're going to fold into a triangle. You're going to make the nose. So you're going to fold one end over. This makes the triangle. And then you're going to fold the other one over. So there's the nose piece. And then you're going to tape it down. So I put tape on this side here, and then on this side here. When you get done, it should look like this. And if you don't want a boring, just white rocket, you can color it, paint it, do whatever you want before you cut your pieces. So if you want to draw a picture on this and then cut the sections out, or I just wrote "shoot for the stars" on one of my rockets after I designed it. And then comes the fun part. So you get your shot, stick it in the hole, and shoot it. Did you see that? It came really fast. So this is where I would recommend going outside. So go outside, once your rocket's done, see how high in the sky you can shoot it. Maybe see how far you can shoot it. If you can make an arch, if you have your family members who made rockets with you, so if you remember you can make up to 30 with that piece of paper, have a competition. Who can get it the highest? Who can get it the farthest? Things of that nature. So I hope you enjoy this project. And if you do, shoot it off, make it, and take a video you want to share it with me so I can see what you've done. That would be great. I would love it. Otherwise, I look forward to our next project activity.